Welcome to the Slice of Time Street Photography podcast, a podcast in which I explore the work of different street photographers across the world, genres and visions. And this, of course, exposes us to different ideas, ways of looking, and helping you form your own vision of street photography. And today I'm joined by Geit Eero, a street photographer from Tallinn in Estonia. And his work spoke to me because, well, he's very varied in his subjects. And also in like the technology he uses and the humor that comes through. So, hey, Geit, could you perhaps introduce yourself?
Hello, Frederick. This podcast has been in the making for like 2 years now. You were the
I
first
think a
person to
year.
ask me this. Is it a year? Because you were the first person to ask to make a podcast with me. But life has been complicated, so much has been happening and so on. So it's been postponed. And now that I have finished my, I call it like Lord of the Rings saga, it's like I haven't reached it to the end. It's like I wanted this to be the first place where I speak in English. So first of all, I'd like to apologize for my bad English. It's bad.
It's great.
I know it's. She and he are quite complicated concepts for me. It's like in Estonian we don't have pronouns like this. It's like a person is a person. It doesn't matter so if I confuse them, don't mind me. And the other thing I'd like to apologize, I'm sick. I'm sneezing and coughing. So if you hear me like making weird or funny noises, it's who I am. So right now. So
That's
I'm a
totally
street
fine.
photographer. Yeah, street photographer from Tallinn. At least I used to call myself a street photographer, but now I am just a photographer. I think I'm a photographer. I just like to take pictures of life that I observe around me. My interest has gone beyond streets. Mainly it's street, but when I'm in nature, I take nature photos. When I see some small details, I like to take macro photos. And so I think I am just a photographer who likes to take pictures of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you said like, I think I'm a photographer. So is there like a reason why you're not sure, or?
I'm still trying to figure out what is a photo in essence, in its like roots. It's like, if you start to think about it, a photo is how do we say it? It's kind of a deep thing. It's like if I take a photo, I have stopped time. It's like slice of time, as you said. It's like from the flow of life, we take out a slice that we can present, and we can never recreate it. It's like so unique and so special, and it's like, what is it? And since I don't understand it fully, I think I'm a photographer. It's like,
Okay,
what is a photographer?
Yeah, I think as soon as you grab a camera and take a photo, you've become a photographer, I think. And then, of course, from there on out, if like, do you make? I think like you evolve as a better photographer if you get like a vision or something, or have like a specific topic. But I think, yeah, like photographer shouldn't be too much of a gate-kept word, I think, or title. So, and you mentioned, and that's something I enjoyed about your photography as well. So that you're not necessarily a street photographer anymore, but more like a general photographer. Did you, because I think, did you ever call yourself a street photographer, or did you never really use that term?
One thought before it leaves my mind, because my head is a bit messy. But this 1,000 has been crazy on my mental health. It's like, it's been ups and downs and everything. If let's say, what other word would you describe of a person who takes pictures besides photographer? It's sort of
That's
a
a
like
good question.
open-ended question. There is no answer, but what is he doing? What is he doing? It's like, this is like it. These questions bring us closer to the root idea of what is a photo. I think there's no answer right now. Everyone must find his own answer. It's, what am I doing? I'm showing my perspective of the life, and it's like so many answers, and it's like, yeah. Anyway, when I started this 1000, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be a street photographer now. I'm gonna 0 to 100, make a lot of street photos and get really good at it and so on. But then I got a bit tired of streets sometimes, so I went to nature, took some nature photos, some landscapes, and then I got this small green Pentax camera that is really good for macro photography. And then I was like, a new world opened up. It's like, whoa! And now I'm just maybe a photographer.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's interesting because I think most street photographers eventually venture off into different aspects as well, and they keep doing street photography, but also try different things. So that's nice, and I like how you always use like various cameras and never the most expensive newest ones. It's always like a funny old one or like a little one. Is that something you enjoy more, or is there a reason behind you using those cameras?
I call it my public service in a way. When the reason I started this I made like 4 reasons why I started this Instagram project. One of the reasons was that I was fed up with the content I saw on TikTok and on Instagram Reels, the short form content. It was full of videos about gear. If you don't have the newest camera, if you don't have the longest lens, you are nobody. You can't take good pictures. And I was fed up with it because gear matters super rarely. It's like if you take maybe like super macro photos or like you try to take pictures of some distant black holes, then gear matters. But most of the time, no, it's like gear is like secondary or third in the hierarchy of taking pictures. So I was like, okay, I have this old Nikon DSLR. I'll start make content with it. And it started to fly. People loved that I used the old camera. And then I made a video with some point and shoot Nikon camera, and the reception was so good. It's like, I can take pictures with my grandma's camera that's collecting dust on the shelf. And then I understood it's like, I have my like personal goals that I want to reach, but it seems I have to opportunity to, let's say, kind of like inspire or show the fun side of taking photos as well. So I decided, okay, let's just show that every camera is capable of capturing light, and by this, I hope that people will be the courage to take photos and what's the word? The excitement of capturing light will come back. And I think it worked because I've seen so many people like imitating me and sending me like videos and pictures all around the world with weird cameras, but they're having fun. They're capturing life, and it's real, and I'm really happy about it. And I think in terms of the picture quality in the past 10 years, basically they're all the same. There have been like autofocus has gone a lot better, and maybe some dynamic range a bit, and ISOs have become cleaner, higher ISOs. But if we talk about like ISO 400 f8 and 50mm lens, it's maybe you see some contrast differences or like color temperature differences, but they're all sharp. They're all fine.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And so to me, it was funny because I think I saw one of your reels like a few years ago. And I remember you were like at 8,000 followers or something. I was like, okay, this because you made a thing about showing how so the situation, you make like the funny sounds and the hand gestures to show this is what I'm gonna do, and then you show it. And I found that a very interesting concept, and I think I'm not sure if you were the first one, but I only saw it evolve in other people's behind that. And afterwards, I also, like, I think a few months after the 8,000 followers, I went to look back at your profile, and all of a sudden you were like, your account was blowing up. So the low key cameras and the fun of just photographing and not talking about gear is definitely something I think a lot of people agree with or subscribe to at that point, because otherwise, yeah, I don't think they would follow you. So I think that
I
that's
think
really working.
one good push for me to show that gear doesn't matter so much was when I visited Henri Cartier-Bresson's exhibition in Finland. And it was a big exhibition throughout his life, photos and so on. And when I saw that half of his images were blurry, not sharp, they were kind of okay-ish. And the quality of the images was also okay-ish, you know, not so like super fancy, extra good detail and so on. But what was inside the pictures mattered. You know, you see a blurry image, but the story or the point or the idea that this moment is presenting me was so unique that made me realize it's like, okay, gear doesn't matter. It's like what's inside the picture. What's the picture matters. Let's say if I show you like a really awesome picture about let's say ambulance carrying away somebody, and there's some joy and happiness and sadness in that same picture. It doesn't matter with what it was made. It's the picture. It's like, oh, this picture moves me. There are still heroes in this world, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm
it's
thinking
in the
there's
end,
like one
it's
photo. It won like the WordPress photo of the year a few years ago, and it's a blurry image of this guy holding a gun, shooting or like pointing it in the air at least, which was like made at. It was a guy who attacked. I think he shot some ambassador, and a photographer took
yeah,
the photo,
it
but
was
it's
in.
like a blurry photo,
It was.
and I think
I
that's a
think
great photo.
it won the best photo year award maybe a
Yeah,
few
I think
years
so.
ago, and yeah, and this photo was unique because it was made the moments after the assassination. It's like as present of that moment as possible, and it's like a really sad moment, but a unique
It's an
moment.
intense moment, but the photo is blurry as well because of, well, you couldn't anticipate that moment. And so it's still a great photo, even though it's kind of blurry. It's still, which maybe adds to the photo, even that it's blurry. So yeah, that's definitely.
It was a blurry situation as well. So, you know,
I wasn't there, but I'm sure it was not the easiest situation to photograph. And so you were mentioning, you were talking about the 4 reasons you started Instagram. The first one being not talking about gear. The second one showing the joy of photography again. And do you have 3 and 4?
the third one was my sort of small fight against AI by showing that I make the picture. Here I am on this street, and there is a shadow, and I'm pointing to the shadow, and now I'm taking the camera, and I'm making the picture. It's like a proof that it's not an AI-made image; it's by human-made because there's a video about it. It backfired a bit. I think
Really?
was last year or year before it, when Instagram started to push its some sort of. They made a tool to mark all the videos that have been made by AI. So there was a tool that scans the video, and if it thinks it's AI made, it puts like a note on it that it's made. This video was made by AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, things don't work in the beginning as they should. So all my videos got marked made by AI, and I was like, what am I supposed to do now? It's like, I'm showing you, I'm making a picture, but now there is like this sign made by machine that it thinks it's made by AI, but now now they got it fixed. But it was a funny moment for me. It's like, yeah.
It's crazy
But
that
I think,
it's that
yeah.
you're fighting AI and then gets labeled as AI. But yeah.
Oh, AI is fighting back, maybe. I don't know. And the fourth reason was that the process of creativity, in a sense, is like a relationship with a bigger being. Like some call it God, some call it the ultimate force, whatever you call it. I think there is a bigger force around us that flows through us, and we are sometimes the tool of it. Because I have made so many pictures where I'm not sure I can take the full owner rights from it. I'm on a situation, and then some voice inside my head is like, okay, stay here. There's about something nice is about to happen. And I'm like looking around, there's nothing. And I'm starting to move away, and it's like, oh no, wait, please wait. Be ready. There is something's going to happen. And then okay, what's going to happen? And then there is some magic coincidence of, I don't know, 3-4 elements in the same moment. I click it, and it's like, was I the tool for some force for this moment to be preserved?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
And
a cool way to look at it.
And it's so often that I have to trust that force, that creative force. It comes upon me. It's like, stay here, don't move, be prepared. And there is nothing here. There is absolutely nothing here. Be prepared. And of course, sometimes I walk away, and when I look back, I see like the perfect moment happening. Somebody's kissing somebody, when two birds are like flying, and then there's like some heart-shaped balloon is, and it's like, damn, you know.
Yeah. I'm happy you have those moments too, because for me, like, I'm not very patient, so I wait like 2-3 minutes and then I walk away. And then the moment you do like 2 steps, what you wanted to happen happens. Yeah, and it's very frustrating. So are you a patient person, or are you like me, like 2-3 minutes is already too much?
Depends on my mental state.
But you can
Sometimes
wait.
I can wait. I have waited hours for a moment. And sometimes when I'm overstimulated by coffee and nicotine, I am not patient at all. I run through the city. My camera is like hot in the hand. It's like the sensor is working hard. It depends. Some days are chill and some are not. Maybe if we get older, we'll get slower. I don't know.
Who
Street
knows?
photographers tend to get slower when they get older.
Yeah, maybe yeah, I have to still find it out maybe. But so, like, for example, with you making the video, do you do it for every photo you make, or is it more, when it might work on video to make like a behind the scenes video, or is it, because I can imagine it takes some time to do so, and to, like, I'm not sure how much you edit, but
It's been 50-50. Sometimes I capture the moment before, and then I'm like, okay, this is a good video, moment to capture to show that maybe somebody else can like learn from it and make a better moment. So I make a video afterwards. Sometimes the video captures the moment that's shown in the end. And it's been 50-50. And the funny thing is, usually the most static moments I have captured before and made the video after, where there is no action, no decisive moments. And those decisive moments, videos where somebody's walking into the shadow in the perfect angle, those are captured in the video. You can't see, but
okay.
it's like, and it makes no sense for me. It's, why is it like this? I don't know, but because it should be the other way around, you know?
It does feel like it should be the other way around, yeah. But I mean, if it works, it works, so that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and because let's talk about the 1,000 moments. Like, why did you decided on, I want to post 1,000 moments, and also now that you achieved it, what's gonna be next? But maybe let's start with the why.
I started with 366 moments, 1 year.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And when I reached the 366th picture, I was kind of disappointed in myself because I had started to make videos with random cameras and more about others than myself. It was like I was focusing in bringing back the joy of taking pictures, and kind of lost my initial plan to like capture life in Estonia and Tallinn and so on. Oh, there was one more goal that I had. I'll tell it later. So since I was disappointed in myself, okay, I have to extend it, because if I'm to make a book about all this journey of mine, it's not gonna make sense, because there are so many random camera pictures and stuff, some simple shadow pictures and so on. So I was like, should I extend it for a year, another? And then I was like, I have never heard some photographer make 1,000 picture challenge in social media. So I was like, how hard can it be? You know, those famous last words. How hard
Yeah,
can it be? Damn, it was hard. Ooh, it was a challenge. But I managed somehow to make it to the end. But it's been like crazy roller coaster ride. I suggest every creative to try it because you will find yourself so many times. And you will have to overcome that self that you will find so many times. And in the end, you're not even sure what is that self that you have to overcome, but you keep on pushing. It's like without those challenges, there's no reason to push oneself.
no, true.
And without pushing, you can't grow. So it's like, it's the easiest and most hurtful way to grow. Just go crazy and find a way back from that craziness. And then, you know,
Yeah. And so did you, because you also posted every day, I think, is it, or like, was that the moment? And then I can imagine that you like go out on a Saturday and make like 5 posts maybe. So or 5 photos that moments that you're happy with. So you have like, or was it really like every day you made one moment?
almost every day. I made no breaks. I posted every day. Uh, and I photographed almost every day. I think in
Okay.
those 1,000 days, maybe I had like 20 days or so when I made a picture, when I had made the picture before. But for those 1,000 days, I had camera on my hand every day. Wherever,
That's
if I was
crazy.
going shopping, I had that. Yeah, and it's like right now, it's kind of weird. I can go outside without my camera. It's like what the hell? This tool has become part of me. Ah,
Does it feel weird to not do it anymore then, or?
yeah, super weird, super weird. Not
And
sure,
do you?
but I need to quit because 1,000 days without a break or vacation or a day off, it messes with the head real bad.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
good. It, it's good that I have had some like really dark holes that I have fallen into, because in those holes I have had to ask myself questions: Who am I? What I want to do? Where I'm gonna go? What's gonna save me? How I'm gonna find the light again? Because without those questions, we the life will be like dull. And creativity is the answer. So if anybody is struggling with some dark things around themselves right now, creativity will be the ladder that with what you can climb out. If you're a photographer, grab that camera and just go. If it's hard
I,
to, you know, just fuck it, go.
yeah, I
Great,
think that's good
great,
advice.
creatives have to create their way out of the dark.
And did you find that you, during those darker moments, that you changed your or that your photography represented it, so that maybe you chose different subjects, you photographed things differently, or did that not really affect how you shot?
Yeah. One thing that I started to notice was that every time I was in a slum, in some darkness, I posted black and white pictures,
Okay.
and it started subconsciously, but then it started to make sense for me. Every time I post something black and white, I'm in a really bad place, and then it gets colorful again, you know. And for me, it makes sense because if I'm in really depressed, life becomes black and white. There's good and there's bad and there's more bad. Those thoughts and so on. So I post. I think I'm gonna make a black and white book as well about myself, because one time when I was really sad, where's that the book? When I was really sad, I was not able to find a way out. I printed all my black and white pictures, and I was like, "This is a book about me." It somehow just happened, and when I spread those images on the floor and I looked at them, it's like, okay, this is me. This makes sense. I have been through stuff, I'm still here. Okay, I'll keep on going. So I made a book that I might publish in the future. It's good to make like
Cool.
prototype books.
Yeah. And so is that like a next project, like starting to publish the photos in a different way than Instagram? So for example, like you said, a book or an exhibition, or I'm not sure, like other ways, like a zine or whatever.
I think I should make. No, I'm not sure. I must make. Um, how do I say it? I have been more productive in those 1,000 pictures that I have published. I have like a lot of pictures that I forget to publish or upload or whatever. It's like taking pictures every day, the catalog grows quite big. So last time I checked, I think I can make like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 books right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I have no idea how to publish or create the book. So this will be my next journey. One book will be
Yeah.
about myself, the black and white book. Then there's a book about this song and dance festival that happened in Estonia that I was part of. Oh, that was crazy. I took in 3 weeks, every day from 7 till 10 in the evenings, I think it was like 7 to 8,000 pictures. And now I need to find like
Whoa.
maybe like hundreds that I should put inside the book.
Yeah.
And there's a book about reflections. I have a reflection thing going on. Anyway, too much stuff to do, and first I need to like rest, play some video games, and I don't know, chill in the forest. And
It's I find those two very contrasting. Like play video games or rest in the forest, but they're both great. Yeah. So I'm curious which video games you play.
I have not played a video game for quite some time, but I think I'd like to give a go for the Red Dead Redemption thing.
Okay, yeah. I haven't played it, but
I've
a friend of mine does, and it's very fun, I think. Yeah.
and I saw there was I can't remember her name, but there's an artist who made a photo exhibition, and all the photos are made inside the Red Dead Redemption game.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like it was the first time I saw a video reality photo exhibition, and it was like all sorts of questions arised in my head, and it's like maybe I should delve into that more. Maybe there's something there.
Yeah. It can be interesting for sure. Yeah. It's a weird concept because yeah, there's a lot to think about when doing something like that, and
I think it makes sense in like MMO RPGs more than in single player games, because there is like a alternate life happening in there, and there are streets that then you know it's like I haven't played World of Warcraft, but imagine having photos from World of Warcraft, like the high peak days where there are a lot of people playing, and it's like it could be cool to like reflect on them, looking back. Oh, these were the good old game days.
yeah, true. That's in a way we don't have like a virtual photo album of ourselves, maybe. Yeah, because and we spend a lot of time online, so yeah, could be interesting to think about. And so you mentioned you have like a big catalog of a lot of photos that you made, because of course every day you went out. Was there How did you decide which one to publish for that day? Because I can imagine you have like a big catalog of photos, and sometimes maybe one is better, but maybe doesn't work as a standalone and would work better in a series, or was that daily choosing difficult?
Yeah, sometimes it was a headache, but I solved it by splitting it into 2 categories: pictures for me and pictures for the people.
Hmm.
It's pictures for the people are those pictures that get lots of likes, that usually I have videos on. It's like this is a shadow, there is some reflection, something simple on it, something that is easy to enjoy, because I understood that I have some sort of obligation by life to be the guy who makes sounds and inspires others to take pictures. So I'll honor that obligation and I'll do my best and I'll do some simple pictures and so on. And then there are those pictures that I like a lot that usually get no likes. And it's like, this is life, I guess. There are some like weird pictures of a hand holding a plastic bag. And for me, it's like, oh, plastic bag. It's like a symbol of some sort of culture. In my head, it's like a crazy story behind it. But everybody's like, it's a hand holding a plastic bag. But it's fine. It's like, I think it's same with musicians as well. Sometimes you have to play some covers. For example, Beatles as well. Beatles started by playing cover music and so on. And I think it's good that every photographer has the skill to make those classical nice pictures, because through that it's easier to find their own style and what they personally like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes total sense. And now I'm very curious to those photos for you. If you ever publish them, how like more complicated they are maybe then. And then because Instagram isn't always the best platform, I think, for photos. And as you said, like sometimes there's like a specific type of photos people want there, but it's yeah. And so do you to go back maybe to Tallinn, and is there a big photography community, and especially street photography community in Tallinn, or is it more like low keys?
I think our community is in the okay size. There are a lot of people interested in, but we don't gather around and take photos together and so on. I think it's same in other parts of the world as well, because street photography is a bit of a lonely art form. Taking photos with friends, or let's say five street photographers gather on a corner, and then it's like it looks weird from other side, and same from it's like, what's going on here? Unless they all play like foreign tourists, it's like, oh, we're exploring new city, then it might work. But it's a lonesome thing, this street photography.
Mostly, yeah, true. That's why I started this podcast, because it's, I think, having conversations, but also just hearing conversations can make you learn a lot. Because often for me, it came from a point that I started like listing questions that I had as like a document on my phone with all these. I have them in front of me because I still sometimes use them. For example, it's like, do you listen to music or not while you walk outside? Because to me it was something that I was questioning, like, is it okay for me to listen to music while I'm out on the street, or should I be able to hear what's happening? So it was like, okay, I should be able to ask this to people, or is it okay to often go to the same spots, or do you always have to change? What else? Like, how many photos do you keep that are actually good, and how many do you throw away? It was all these questions that I started listing up, and because I didn't have like much reference, because I couldn't really talk to others because I was doing street photography alone, I decided like, okay, I should start having this podcast. I also have like a community here in Antwerp with 15 of us who meet more or less every month just for like a coffee, and you can just like talk. So it's nice because it is very lonely, street photography, but at the same time it's fun to sometimes be able to talk to someone about it. And now in Brussels at this point, the day of the recording, it's not the day of the publishing, but it's Brussels Street Photography Festival. So it's like 4 days or 5 days of like a lot of street photographers joining in, and I think it's very helpful to just talk and enjoy. So yeah.
Yeah, what you are doing is amazing. I like to listen to your podcast as well. You're doing a great job. Keep on doing
Thank
it.
you.
It's yeah, it's awesome, and it's rare. It's like yeah. I've been thinking, why are a street photography? Why is it so lonesome? Like way of life. I think if we take streets as bloodlines in human body, street photographers, in a sense, are like the observers inside that bloodline. It's like we're not going anywhere exactly. It's like we don't have purpose. It's like now I have to go to job, or now I have to go to this market and go back home. It's like we don't have a goal. We're like observers inside of that blood flow and capturing it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like white blood cells. It's like we're observing everything and like, well, what's going on? Is it how is life happening around it? Because I think we see what's the slice of life, how the life is progressing around us. How is the society doing right now? Uh, um, it's
Yeah.
been interesting. But sometimes it's weird as well. Sometimes it's really hard to handle what life throws at it. I remember one moment I was, I think it was like a bus stop or tram stop, and somebody got stabbed, and there was blood, and there was police running, and I was standing there. On my left side, I saw the stabbing. Not, I didn't see the stabbing, but I saw the blood and the medical and so on. And on my right side, there was this couple having their first kiss, and I was in the middle, and I was like, okay, how what? How am I supposed to like understand life now? It's like what's going on? One is going away. They are making another one soon. What the hell? It's like it messes with the head real bad sometimes.
Yeah, it's that's a very contrasty scene.
It's the life in its essence. It's like birth and death, and everything is happening at the same time. And it's like now be in it, observe it, capture moments, show it, and
No, true. And it's yeah, I think when you start going out as a street photographer, you notice all these things happening. And to me, like yesterday, I said to a friend that street photography taught me that most people are okay. Like most people are good because you just start noticing how people interact. And even if the news says a lot about violence and war and all this kind of stuff, if you just go out and notice people, then often it's
yeah,
pretty
people are
okay.
good.
Yeah.
If you don't know, ask street photographers. Most people are kind, good. The same example I did said before of that stabbing. After it happened, there were already people helping, doing their best to keep that guy alive and so on. So it's like if a situation emerges, the kindness is there. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But kindness doesn't sell. Happiness doesn't sell. You're not going to click a news that says life is good now. We're
No,
gonna click
unfortunately not. That's true.
a thumbnail that says it's bad now. What is bad now? How am I supposed to prepare for this badness and so on?
Yeah.
That sense, I'd like to see more street photographers show joy. I understand it's easy to take pictures of drama and sadness and despair and conflict on the streets, but show kindness as well. Try. It's harder to capture it because it's so invisible, but it's there. It's like those somebody's head is resting on somebody's shoulder and so on. We should show more kindness as well. It's easy to get you will get more likes for a picture that has somebody fighting with somebody and screaming and so on. It's like lots of emotions, but I think we sort of have a obligation by life to show kindness as well. That that I learned from Bruce Gilden. He had his exhibition in Estonia. I didn't meet him. This is one of the guys I'd really love to meet, just to shake hand, because he told in one interview a few years ago when somebody asked, "Why do you take flash photos so close and it's like aggressive and so on?" And he was like, "I'm not aggressive. I'm using all my light and all my skill to show people who are invisible." It's the kindest thing, you know. I'm using the most light to bring out the most invisible. Fucking hell. This is like, I think he's the kindest and the biggest hearted guy in photography right now. But he is like, he seems like all aggressive and so on because he has to protect it, in my opinion, his art. But it's like using the best ways to bring out the invisible. Holy shit. That's awesome. that's inspirational.
Yeah,
No.
that's I never like dove into his interviews actually. Like I know his work, mostly the photos you're referring to with the wide angle lens with big flash in people's face. Um, and it's yeah, to me it's not. I'm not a flash photographer, but and it's funny because I wouldn't see his work as an inspiration in your photos. I think maybe. But it's still, yeah, interesting because it sometimes goes deeper than just looking at someone's photos and getting inspired that way and more listening to people, which is silly because I have a podcast, so that should be the way to go for me. But to listen to people and more like get the ideas more abstractly and then uh, put it in practice. So yeah, that's cool. And do you often read interviews from other photographers then, or listen to interviews?
I tried to, but it's not been easy because walking the streets and listen to podcast, it's not for me. I can't. It's like somebody speaking in my head and I'm trying to be creative. It's not working. Music, okay, it can get me into a flow state and I'm gonna like ride on that wave. But hopefully now that I'm going to finish this 1003, actually, not 1000, but I extended it by 3 days. Uh, uh, I'll have more time to listen.
Yeah. And is there like a specific type of music you enjoy the most during your walks, or is it more at random?
Music is a tool for me, so it depends on the mood I am in. If I need to get my butt kicked and body moving, it's like some sort of black death metal or some German techno music or something that's high energy. It's like tah, 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 go, 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 go. And if I need some mellow things, I go to ambient stuff and some classical stuff. So basically almost everything. And it's
Okay.
fun to experiment with music as well because it sort of creates a sort of mental state. If I put on some African music or reggae music that is this uplifting, chill, those pictures that come out are also those uplifting. Oh, there's a flower here, and there's some, you know. But if I go to like really aggressive music, those pictures come out aggressive as well. So it's good to use music as a tool, I think.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. To me, I used to listen to like kind of mellow house music because it would keep some like brain noise out, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, but wouldn't be too aggressive to take my focus away from the street. But now I just do nothing. But yeah, it's interesting to have it like as a mood enhancer or way to steer your vision one way or the other. So do you often, or do you also do like sometimes no music or?
Lately, it's been 50-50 or so. I used to listen to a lot of music to just get the noise out of my head and around me and focus only the visual. Because when you listen to the music, you cut off like half of the reality, the sound aspect of it. So you can only concentrate on the visual. But I'm slowly starting to enjoy the sounds of the city a lot. This you sometimes you hear people talking about their life and it's like you're just an observer. You hear, there should be like a street. There are street photographers. Maybe there should be like street sound recorders as well. It's like somebody silently recording a conversation. Honey, do you still love me? No.
I was it's super random, but yesterday I was walking in a city haven't been in much, to be honest. But there was this kid singing like the Oompa Loompa song from Charlie and Chocolate Factory,
Hmm.
and for me because it was like on a shopping street, so you had to like the singing, and there was like some noise, and it was very like, even though she sang it kind of annoyingly, but it was very soothing in a way. So, and it's funny because I was thinking about street photography, videography more, or maybe sound, as you said now, could become a thing. Yeah, but of course, it's maybe weird to record conversations. But in a way, like the ambient sounds might be
Is it weird to
very
take
interesting. Yeah,
pictures of people on the streets? It's the same,
very good, very
because
good point.
uh,
Yeah,
because right now the thing with street photos is that it's kind of like wine. I don't know much about wine, but I know that it gets better with time. So if I take a photo on the streets today that might not be appropriate to publish right away because it might harm somebody's reputation or feelings or create some issues, whatever. But if I upload that picture maybe 20 years later, it has a different meaning. It has more value, I think.
Mm.
So we like to look at pictures of past street photographers as well. It's like, oh, life was different then. So in that sense, I think recording sounds as well. Imagine listening to some street gossip from 40 years ago.
That's very true. That's a good point. And same with like different sounds as well. Like the I don't know if you have like the little boxes on traffic lights who make noise for when you can
Cross the
walk.
street.
Yeah. So I think like maybe one day they might sound different as well. So it could be interesting to have those sounds, or even so here in Antwerp and in Brussels, which is only 30 minutes away, the ambulances sound very differently. The ones in Brussels have like there's like a wobble to the sound, and it sounds like spooky, like woo, which I find terribly funny for an ambulance. But it's one of those things that I can explain to people who haven't been to Brussels how funny those ambulances sound, because it's not all of them. It's like 1 in 3 of them sounds like that, and it could be funny, yeah, to have that recorded some way, yeah.
I've been thinking about it. I think I don't know how to make it, or we should make it, or who should make it, or how it's gonna be made. But there should be like an anatomical view of the street. What streets consist of? I started to think about it. It's like taking photos with like as we take photos, usually 35, 28, 50 mil. But when I got that Pentax point and shoot that takes macro pictures, I've been wondering what are those details that I can use macro camera to capture streets? Like street details, street macro. What is a street macro photography? Is it like a cigarette butt or like a used condom, or what are the small details that the street consists of? I'm still
Yeah,
trying to figure it out, but they're there. Those details are there. We know that this detail belongs to the street. It's part of the street life.
yeah.
But and then I
No,
say,
it's
yeah,
true. I think, yeah, macro street photography is definitely a niche that hasn't been explored properly yet, or at all even. But yeah, you could like cigarette butts, like the bubble gum on against the wall. I think there's a lot of details to be shot. Yeah,
this is some next challenge.
yeah, and I think everyone has seen like cigarette butts or bubble gum on the wall or broken glass or whatever. So it could be, yeah. I think it's in a way it's very recognizable.
And I think it's going to change over time as well, those details. We might not see cigarette butts in 20
True.
years.
That's actually
And
a
same
good
way,
point.
like,
Yeah.
if we think back, like maybe 30 years ago, what were those details that the street consisted of? I don't
Yeah.
know, but they were probably different. There were probably more coins. People are not using cash anymore, and so on.
Yeah, exactly, and less cars, but that's of course not a small detail. But yeah, the coins is it's a very good one actually, because yeah, I don't use them anymore. So I as a kid you used to find them a lot on the street it seems, and now
Yeah,
they're maybe I don't pay
there
attention
were
enough, but
there was a lot of talk shit around everywhere. And this is now in the past. There is no like
yeah,
those gray dog sculptures on the grass anymore.
I still see them too much, I think. But it's
uh,
I would like to see an exhibition of just dog shit. Yeah, that would be a
around
very
the
funny
world,
one.
it's like a global exhibition of dog shits around the world. A bit interesting.
Yeah, the dog shit in India looks different than the dog shit in the US. Yeah.
Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe the spiral goes another way. Maybe like in the Australian dog shit, it's usually it's in a spiral. Maybe the spiral goes the other way because of the gravitational pull and whatever.
It's a totally random fact, but there's something very funny about wombat shit in so that it's like the wombats which from Australia, they shit cubes.
Really?
Just a total random just a total random fact. For some reason
That's
they're the only species that shit cubes.
But this is interesting because the form of a cube is really rare in nature in general.
Yeah.
You can't see cubes. There are some like gemstones that form cubes, but cube is rare. This wombat shit is rare shit.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's and I know there's this one. So there's this podcast in Belgium called Nerdland, which is about like the scientific news every month. So it's like a 2-hour show about everything in space or in tech and blah 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 blah. And one of those guys actually collected wombat shits from a zoo here to have in his freezer for like they have a festival to show it to people to say like it's actually this way. So it's it is a thing. But anyway, that's not really a very street. I've never seen any wombats in the street, to be honest.
Yeah, same,
So
same. We can't say they're not there, but it'll be interesting to see a wombat shit on the street.
yeah, maybe like a project for in Australia. On that note, by the way, do you ever go outside of Tallinn or Estonia for your photography, or is that not really something you're interested in?
I haven't done it in this 1000 project. I went to Finland once and Sweden once, but I wanted this 1003 to be centered around Estonia,
Hmm.
Tallinn and other cities as well. But now I want to travel a bit. I want to go to France. I want to go to the place where the first photo ever was taken. I want to visit some historical places that are important for photography. I want to visit that Lights Museum in Germany. And I want to take a bird photo with a Hasselblad camera because it was made for bird photography in the beginning, and hopefully we visit Japan as well. I want to shake the guy DKO's hand. DKO is the guy who invented basically the lead guy for Pentax, Sanatine, and other awesome looking cameras. It's like living legend in my opinion.
Yeah.
So there are places I want to like visit that are kind of important for me.
Yeah, and to me it's funny because usually when I ask about places, it's because people would think they're be interesting to photograph, but for you it's totally different. So, because it's for you it's for their historic value or for to meet certain people. So it's an interesting way that you answered that question actually.
I try to live like this, that whatever I do, it has some sort of deeper meaning attached to
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
If I take pictures, that's if people ask me, it's aren't you afraid of conflict on the streets when somebody's like, "Why are you taking a picture of me?" I think if one has a deep understanding and reason why he's making those photos, it's no problem. It's like I'm trying to document life through how I observe it. It's fine. But if one gets like super nervous, it's like I don't know why I'm taking why I'm living here, why I'm existing. Then it's like please don't take pictures of me. Then
Yeah.
get your head straight. It's like have a good reason and believe in that reason. And this solves a lot of problems.
I think I feel like you might have read it. It's like a book, Meaning in the Making by Sean Tucker, which is a good book about. It's a photographer from the UK who talks about finding the meaning in your art. It mostly has photography examples, obviously, but it works in general. So that's a book. It feels like you might have read it, but it's definitely something that.
Nope, I have not read it, but I think I must read it now. Thank you for sharing.
It's a very interesting one. I've read it twice already now. So it's one of those books that I think.
Good reason is I'm just experimenting and playing with the camera as well. It's still
Yeah,
an honest and good reason, but you need to have some sort of reason if there's a conflict arises. It's why are you taking pictures of me? Because I'm testing my camera. I'm trying to understand how the focusing thing works. It's good reason as well, but you have to believe in that reason,
yeah, true,
and that
exactly.
makes you confident, and that solves a lot of problems.
Yeah. So let's leave it there. I think we can do like an entire different episode about several topics we touched on, but let's leave it there. So thank you, Geit, for your time and insights. And of course, if anyone wants to follow him, sorry, yeah,
We finally did it. It took so
we
many
finally
tries to
did
make
it.
this podcast. It was like, I think, third or fourth time, and I was like, this must be done. This
I'll
must
have a
be
look
done. It's like
to see our first DM. I texted you. Oh, you're right. It's 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, my first DM to you was I'm thinking, is this okay? This is
But
American.
I remember. I think
Geit.
it was you were starting to make podcast, and you wanted me to be your first.
It's before the first published. Yeah, no, but we started DMing before the first podcast. So it's been 2 years. Yeah, that's funny. I thought I was maybe already doing the podcast before I texted you. But I mean, we did it. We did make it work. And so for the other people who would like to follow Geit, of course, follow his Instagram, which will be in the links will be in the description. You can also buy some of his prints, by the way, on his website, also linked in the description. And of course, feel free to share this
don't
episode.
buy my prints. Don't buy
Don't
my
buy
prints.
your prints.
No, it's not. I have to make a new website and make everything nicer and prettier. These are old photos there, and I'm not happy about it. So yeah, I have to now that I have finished this project. First, I have to find all those files that those original images and put them inside one folder of 1003 Geit photos. And I have created quite a mess in my life, and now I have to somehow structure it because I haven't structured it. I have I have no idea where some of my files are. It's like, yeah, not the wise thing to do. Not the wise thing to do.
No, I thought I had it structured, but this week I followed like a webinar about Lightroom catalogs, and now I'm restructuring everything because it's there's so much possibilities to do, but yeah, it's.
You know what you should do? It will be really awesome if you could get somebody who is really good at file organizing in general. It doesn't need to be in photography, like section of life, but like in general, somebody is good at file handling, file organizing, somebody who is like specialized in organizing stuff, and how we as a photographer should organize our photos. What's the best way to do it? Because everybody's trying their own way. I do it by date or by year or by catalog or by event, or maybe there's some really good way that, let's say, data people are using already. We should adopt to it.
So it's so the webinar was by a photographer, but she used to be a librarian, so she had like this entire system. Yeah, so it was now
super
it's
good combination.
Yeah, it's a good combination, I think, for this subject. So it's but anyway, I'm gonna stop the recording because I think otherwise we'll be starting a second hour. So thank you, Geit, for your time, and of course to the people listening.
It was awesome to talk to you. Thank you, Frederick.